Darsaniya Vayavairudaram Darsaniya Vayavairudara Darsaniya Vayavairudara Vila Sahase Kshitavama Suktaihi Vila Sahase Kshitavama Suktaihi Tatmano Hrita Pranamscha Bhaktir Tatmano Hrita Pranamscha Bhaktir Anichato me gatim anvim prayungte Anichato me gatim anvim prayungte Anichato me gatim anvim prayungte Darshaniya Vayavairudara Vilasahasekshitavama Suttai Atmano Vrita Pranam Sabhaktai Ichato me gatimanvim prayunte by those forms, Darsaniya, charming, Avayavaihi, whose limbs, Udara, exalted, Vilasa, pastimes, Asa, smiling, Ikshita, glances, Vama, pleasing, Suktaihi, whose delightful words, Hrita, captivated, Manaha, their minds, Hrita, captivated, Pranan, their senses, Cha, and Bhaktihi, devotional service, Anichataha, unwilling, Me, my, Gatim, abode, Anvim, subtle, Prayunkte, secures. Translation. Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his very pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. There are three divisions of devotees: first class, second class, and third class. Even the third class devotees are liberated souls. How many of you are happy for that? It is explained in this verse that although they do not have knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, the devotees become absorbed in thought of him and lose all their consciousness. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Simply by discharging uncontaminated devotional service as prescribed in the scriptures, one becomes equal to Brahman. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. This means that the living entity in his original state is Brahman because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Brahman. But simply because of his forgetfulness of his real nature as an eternal servitor of the Lord, he is overwhelmed and captured by Maya. His forgetfulness of his real constitutional position is Maya. Otherwise, he is eternally Brahman. When one is trained to become conscious of his position, he understands that he is servitor of the Lord. Brahman refers to a state of self-realization. Even the third-class devotee who is not advanced in knowledge of the absolute truth, but simply offers obeisances with great devotion, thinks of the Lord, sees the Lord in the temple, and brings forth flowers and fruits to offer to the deity, becomes imperceptibly liberated. Shraddhayanvitaha, with great devotion, the devotees offer worshipful respects and paraphernalia to the deity. The deities of Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Narayan, and Rama and Sita are very attractive to devotees. So much so that when they see the statue decorated in the temple of the Lord, they become fully absorbed in the thought of the Lord. That is the state of liberation. In other words, it is confirmed herewith that even a third-class devotee is in the transcendental position above those who are trying for liberation by speculation or by other methods. In other words, it is confirmed herewith that even a third-class devotee is in the transcendental position above those who are trying for liberation by speculation or by other methods. Even great impersonalists like Sukadeva Goswami and four Kumaras were attracted by the beauty of the deities in the temple, by the decorations and by the aroma of Tulsi offered to the Lord, and they became devotees. Even though they were in the liberated state, instead of remaining impersonalists, they were attracted by the beauty of the Lord and became devotees. Here the word vilasa is very important. Vilasa refers to the activities of or pastimes of the Lord. It is prescribed duty. It is a prescribed duty in temple worship that not only should one visit the temple to see the deity nicely decorated, but at the same time, he should hear the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or some similar literature, which is regularly recited in the temple. It is a system in Vrindavan that in every temple there is a recitation of the Shastras. Even third-class devotees who have no literary knowledge or no time to read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita get the opportunity to hear about the pastimes of the Lord. In this way, their minds may remain always absorbed in the thought of the Lord, His form, His activities, and His transcendental nature. This state of Krishna consciousness is a liberated stage. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommended 5 important processes in the discharge of devotional service. 1, to chant the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. 2, associate with devotees and serve them as far as possible. 3, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. 4, to see the decorated temple and the deity, and if possible, 5, to live in a place like Vrindavan or Mathura. These 5 items alone can help a devotee achieve the highest perfectional stage. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita and here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The third class devotees can also imperceptibly achieve liberation is accepted in all Vedic literatures. Hare Krishna. I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. So I seek the blessings of all the devotees present here. No? Actually, this is a very lengthy purport. I'll try to focus on the first two paragraphs. Tomorrow, somebody can take the third paragraph. Shyam Kishore. Huh? I know. So third verse, they can take it up because third paragraph, because it has the 5 potent forms of devotional service. That itself will take. We can speak hours and hours and hours. Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his very pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. Hare Krishna. So Krishna comes, or Lord Ram comes only for this purpose, actually. Acharya Krishna and his devotees, Acharyas, they have only one worry: how to bring conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. So Kapila Muni, he was actually explaining his mother Devavati about Sankhya Yoga. And in that he's actually talking about, this chapter is, what is this chapter entitled? Glories of Devotional Service. So, how Bhakti Yoga is easy compared to other yogas, actually. Sixth chapter, Arjun, when Krishna told Arjun to control his mind and senses by going to forest, Arjun said, I cannot do that. I can control the cyclonic wind, but I cannot control my mind. So the entire process, the entire process given, but he said, I cannot do that. Brahmachari Vritistita, who will, first of all, who can stay in that strong brahmachari life? Manasa vacha karmana sarvastastarada sarvatra maidhanam tyago. Brahmacharya pravartate. What is Yajnavalkya Muni gives the definition of brahmacharya? Manasa vacha karmana. You can do. You can do vacha and karmana. But you have seen so many movies in the past. It's very difficult to do with mind. If not, then he said you're not a brahmachari. Yajnavalkya Muni says. So only Bhakti school allows all the schools allows everyone actually. But other schools, other parts of yoga, whether it is a karma, jnana, dhyana, especially dhyana yoga, this is the prerequisite. And on the top of it, why it is very difficult. Of course, the goal of dhyana yogi is to attain Paramatma. Dhyana avastita tadkatena manasa pasyanti yam yogina. So, dhyana yogi, at least he focuses on Paramatma. But other, especially jnana yogis and all, not Brahman, It's very difficult. You cannot focus. When you see somebody, you look at their feet or what? First thing you look at his face. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, for embodied soul, this process is very difficult. Which process? Trying to attain Brahman realization is very difficult. Why? Because you relate everything in the form. And how can you yourself a form, you have a form, how can you focus on formless? It's difficult. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. So it's very difficult. But here for devotees, very easy. Krishna's, what is it? Actually, when my impersonalists, they meditate on Krishna because Krishna is very beautiful. Ram is very beautiful. Tam prekshane sukumar ghanavadatum. Srivatsa kamstubadaram. Smita Sundarasyam. Actually, what Krishna did, Krishna, he climbed this tree and he jumped in the waters of that lake where Kaliya was staying. So what he did, he smashed his leg like this, he did like this, he took this hair and I don't know whether he put rubber band to the hair or not, but definitely put the knot and he jumped in the waters. And this story is describing the beauty of Krishna actually. Bhagavatam says Krishna was so beautiful. Anybody would melt. Krishna's limb is very beautiful. Most beautiful part of Krishna's limbs is his face. Most beautiful part of his face is his smile. Anybody who would see that smile, they have to fall victim to it. Means they should be infatuated by that smile. But because Kaliya's heart was filled with envy, Sandasya Manvasrisha Vijayachada, he became envious and he bit Krishna on the chest. Usually children, everyone loves actually. Krishna was only 7-8 years old. Definitely about this is Pauganda. So, but he bit Krishna on the chest. Envy. When we have envy, you cannot appreciate. So, because it clouds the consciousness. It clouds the consciousness. So, Vikasita Sarasija Lalita Mukena Sputasavaja Manasija Visikena Amrita Madhura Mrudu Taravachanena Jalativasa Malaysia Pavanena Amrita Madhura Mrudu Taravachanena sorry, I forgot. Vikasita Sarasija Nalina Mukena Sputativasa Manasija Visikena Amrita Madhura Mrudu Taravachanena Jalativasa Malayja Pavanena. Professor talking. If you hear from him one time, that sweet, like anybody who has experienced the smell of Malay Martham, the Malay Chandan, so the Chandan is available in Jagannathpuri. That's why what is his name? Madhavendrapuri Krishna asked him to fetch the Chandan from there. So anybody who has tasted the smell of this, the smell, filled with the fragrance of Chandan, you don't want to smell ordinary air. Likewise, anybody who has heard his sweet words of Krishna, you will not find any happiness. You don't like to hear other words. So Gopis are talking. Yaramita Vanamalina Saki. So, what is that? Rupa Goswami warns. If you really want to enjoy friendship, material love, prosperity, all these things, don't go to Kesi Ghat and see Krishna who is standing in the threefold bending form. In other words, if you go there, you lose taste. So, Krishna makes it easy for devotees to become absorbed in his thoughts. To become absorbed in everything related to Krishna actually. So that should be the goal of life. Otherwise, is it easy to control the mind? Mind is very difficult actually. But when you find something very, what is Lord Chaitanya's contribution? I was telling the other day, anything that appears very difficult, he makes it easy. Prasad. Eat. By eating prasad, you will make progress. Krishna is very beautiful. Focus on impersonal Brahman. What Brahman? What you will focus? You'll fall asleep actually. But Krishna stands and so beautiful. One day I don't remember who was giving class, but that Prabhu said, anything beautiful, you have little Rajaguna, you're attracted. Little bit. But you have to tell your intelligence, no, you're married, don't look at it. Or you're a brahmachari, don't look at it. but you're instantly attracted. Yes, sir. Any girl, some girl is going, oh, it's so beautiful. No, I know I'm married. Or brahmachari, no, I should not. So that's natural. That's what Prabhu Goswami says, The way young, young man is attracted to young lady, or young boys get attracted to young girl. Let me have that type of attraction. Tvaimi nanya vishaya madhar madhupade sakurutaratim uttahadatta gange vogum mudanvati. Kunti is praying, my Lord, the way, what is that? The way, Ganga has attraction for the ocean, Sagar. See, she somehow makes it. Water is going suddenly, what happens? A big mountain comes. It's very easy to come down from Himalayas. But then from there, the course problem starts. The first year, chanting Hare Krishna, Prasad appears, amazing, Prasad is great, Kirtan is great, deities are great, Haribol. That's like coming down the Himalayas. Once you come down, now the problem starts. Another mountain comes. No taste. Maybe because we are doing offenses, or maybe lazy, or suddenly, but she has an attraction for ocean. So this mountain, the Ganga goes this side, underneath, somewhere she goes because she has an attraction for the ocean. And suddenly the water is going big, rock falls down. The whole water comes down to a standstill. But again, because of the attraction, she goes this side or this side or this side. So we have to preserve that attraction for Krishna. Otherwise, we'll be attracted to material things. That's why Prabhupada says, impersonalists, at the end, they'll become, they'll open the hospitals. When they are saying Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, this Jagat is Mithya, why they're opening hospitals? Because they're not finding taste. But it will not happen to the devotee, Bhakti Yogi. Why Bhakti Yogi is attracted to Krishna, attracted to Lord Ram? Everyone is listening? Yeah. So as long as we preserve that attraction, we will continue. We should. When we do offenses, that attraction is removed. Even if somebody has achieved a whole attraction to the holy name, which is difficult to achieve, when somebody commits offenses, that attraction is covered. In holy name, instead of giving krupa, holy name gives krupa in a reverse way. How? The mother, like sometimes, it doesn't happen in America, but it happens in India. Mother slaps. So Krishna, actually holy name is grace. But when we constantly do, we are chanting on one side and doing offenses, then Krishna covers. Maya seizes the offender. The mercy comes in the reverse way, by punishment, through punishment. The first thing is that the grace is covered. Sometimes preachers, after preaching so many years, suddenly they lose the desire to preach. That is the worst thing. After chanting for so many years, suddenly you lose taste for chanting the holy name. Means one has to go back to the fundamentals. Hey, here to kuch galat kar raha hu main. Rectify it. Krishna consciousness is simple but not easy. Because many great gurus could not survive. It is true. I'm talking to myself actually. So, but Prabhupada is telling here, somebody is fully absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. We have to enakena prakarana mana Krishna nivesh. Somehow or other you should be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Somehow or other you should be absorbed. Somehow or other. Somehow or other you should be absorbed. We should regularly we should pray, my Lord, please. Otherwise, it's not easy. So what is that? Mamchaya avyavicharena bhakti yogana sevate sagunan sanditetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So if you perform avyavicharena bhakti, means what is that? Unmotivated, uninterrupted, then you are liberated. Prabhupada is telling, third class devotee is liberated. Even a Kanishtadikar is liberated. It is explained in this verse that although they do not honor knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, the devotees become absorbed in the thought of him and lose all other consciousness. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. So continue bhakti with no motive, unmotivated, uninterrupted. So 2 days ago, we celebrated Ram Navami. Ram Navami, what is that? I was just thinking, Sampati told this group, Sugriva sent one group in southern direction. That group was headed by Jambavan. And what is that? So come back in 6 months. 6 months is over actually. They were stuck in a cave. To cut the story short in this Bhagavatam class. They chose Hanuman to fly. Angada was there in that. Jambavan was there. Everyone is still. Angada said, I can jump 100 yojanas, 800 miles, but I may not come back. I lose all my power. Jambavan said, don't worry. There is one person. I used to jump in the past, but I became a little old. But one person is here who can jump and finish the job and come back. So leader means he has to, rather than doing everything himself, he should identify the right person and give it. That's very important. Jambavan, he said, I travel, I can jump a whole earth actually. I can, but Hanuman can do it. So for one first point is, what is that one time? I don't know, I can give the material example. Should I give a material example?
Yes.
In the basketball, in American basketball, this game, one guy, Michael Jordan, was standing. This guy gave the ball to Michael Jordan. Because if Michael Jordan makes the he makes the basket, then that day he'll create record. Then Michael Jordan passed that ball to the person who is close to that ring. He didn't try. Then somebody asked him, why you didn't try? You could have set a record. He said, no, we play game for the sake of game, not for the individual records. Then the team spirit is lost. Then the team spirit is lost. That's why I passed it. If everyone looks for record, then it's just, it's clearly visible, the selfishness. Everyone appreciated him for this. Amazing, actually. I really did not think of my record that time. I was thinking how to score the basket. That's why the one guy was close. I passed him, rather than myself trying for it. So anyway, Sampati said, I can see from here, even though I became very old, I can see Sita sitting under the tree. And Sita sitting under the tree. So the first thing is Shravanam. Shravanadasa. So Hanuman, okay, Sita is sitting under the tree. Okay, Shravanam. Then what is that he did? And it's not easy actually. Not that Ram gave any picture of Sita to Hanuman and say, she looks like this and just go. Nobody knows. It's such a detective story actually, detective novel. So what he did, he kept that in his mind. She is under a tree, Shravanam. Then, when he was going through the troubles, Mananam. No, she's under the tree. No, Krishna is in the spiritual world. I'm not the body but spirit soul. What is it called? Mananam. You remind yourself. Whatever you heard, you remind yourself. Otherwise, it's not easy. It is easy when we are in the association of devotees. When we are alone, going to the work, which is filled with, in the offices are filled with tamogun actually. Whatever is night for the sage is a day for the materialist. Whatever is day for the materialist is night. Krishna is not talking about day and night. What is he talking about? What is forbidden for a devotee is very tasty for a materialist. We will not involve in those activities that materialists like, and they will not involve in those activities we like. It is like head and tail, east or west, east and west. So they don't like what we like to do. We don't like what they like to do. So when you are with them, it's a night, for the sage, but it's a day for them. Money, woman, enjoyment, sense enjoyment, woman or man, doesn't matter. For us, no. That'll what is it? Incriminate you. It'll cause your fall down. So one has to, after hearing, in order to stay clean, one has to remind. What is it called? Mananam. Remind yourself. You lie down on the bed. Krishna is beautiful. Spiritual world is real. I am not his body, spirit soul. I am not his body, but a spirit soul is a reality. When you remind yourself like that, then you will not listen to mind, because you're telling the mind to bring those pictures. If you stop doing it, mind will start sending its own pictures. How many of you have exam? Remember, when it starts sending its pictures and you start reminding, you start meditating on them, patan, fall down. So when you're alone, when you're in the adverse situations or the wrong places, whatever you heard, you remind yourself, mananam. So he was actually jumping. When he tried to, is it a joke? Jumping 800 miles, flying through skyways. No, I will do. Actually, real grace is not material prosperity. Krishna's grace comes in the form of determination. If you are determined, it means you have Krishna's grace. You're losing taste for the material world, you are directly getting Krishna's grace. You're losing taste. Your desire to perform bhakti is increasing. You are getting direct grace. Your desire not to offend devotees means you are making progress. Your desire to declare war on the impurities of your mind, you should know Krishna is our Lord Chaitanya is holding an umbrella on you. Mahaprabhu or Bhaktaganer Vairagya Pradhan. So you'll develop a distaste for the material things, you will develop taste for the spiritual things. So that is a sign that you're making progress. But you all experience, sometimes it is not like a constant thing. Sometimes this side, sometimes this side. When we are with the devotees, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But when you're alone, that's why Ayodhya, Lanka, and Kishkinda. Ayodhya means, what can I do for you? Ayodhya means, what can I do for you? So what is that mantra? What is time? It's 9 o'clock, sorry. Then I'll finish it. So Ayodhya means, I'll not tell, it's 9 o'clock. The mistake done by Kaika was corrected by the son. No, I don't want. I don't want the kingdom. Why? Everything is owned by Paramatma. A person who sees Paramatma in the heart eventually sees Paramatma everywhere. Or a person who sees Krishna in the heart, he sees Krishna everywhere. Hey, this is not my property, it is his property. Ram is telling it is not my property. I mean, I will not, it is mine. Bharat said, you are the eldest son, you should take it. Ram said, I took a vow. All right, if you have taken a vow, then I will not rule. Because what is spirituality? Everything is owned by Krishna, including the family members, including your intelligence. And I put earplugs, I am a very light sleeper. Like a train sound in the heart. It goes like this. Where I am sitting in this machine, how long it will last. I am very comfortably breathing. One brahmachari told me, is anyone of us conscious of breathing? If yes means you have a health issue. Then only you remember your breathing. If you are remembering, means you have a health issue. None of us remember our breathing, it happens naturally. That is a sign you don't own the body. Stop breathing. Hey, let me take a little rest. Stop for half an hour breathing. Can you stop for half an hour? Can you stop your heart for 2 minutes? No, it has to tuck, 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 tuck. Breathing has to happen. One day it will stop. But Krishna is telling, I have given this tool to you. Before that, how much you will utilize that for me? Or how much you will utilize for Maya? It's a choice. Life is a choice. So, Lanka means, what will you do for me? Ayodhya means, what can I do for you? But in between is Kishkinda. Sometimes, what will you do for me? Sometimes, what can I do for you? With Ram, what can I do for you? Once Ram is gone, Sugriva, what will you all do for me? Monkey mentality, monkey mind. Listening or not? Sometimes this side, sometimes this side. So that's why we are marginal, tata. Sometimes when we come to Sunday, like Saturday class, oh yes. But mind will never tell you, take rest, please. You are so tired, please take rest. That's why it is initially why Ragan is impossible. Vaidi. I will go. No matter what, whatever my mind says, I will go and do it. So, Hanumanji, what is telling? Mananam, he is going through, he is jumping through the skyways, and he could handle Suras, he could kill Simhika, he could even handle, Lankini, because my end goal is clear. Visionary means one who sees visionary means one who can see the invisible. Sometimes people go start business. Hey, this place is not good. Another guy says, no, this is very good. So he's a visionary. Means he's seeing something. Likewise, if we have faith, we will see the invisible. Achieve the intangible. So if we have faith, we all here. If you go to America, you have said that you will be very happy. We heard, we should go to America. Why to go to America? Because in movies they're showing very nicely. So you will remind yourself, I should go to America. Then I'll go, I'll enjoy. So you remind yourself, yes or no? I should write GRE or I should get H1, whatever. Why? You're reminding yourself. Then the next one is that mananam, reminding yourself, should translate to dhyanam. Same thing Rupa Goswami writes in the Nectar of Instruction. What he does? He writes the same thing in Nectar of Instruction. Shravanadasa, Varanadasa, So likewise here also in Ramayana it is telling, what is the difference between dhyanam and mananam? You'll remind sometimes, you remind yourself sometimes you forget. But once it becomes dhyanam also, there's a possibility. We're all chanting Hare Krishna. 5 mantras we hear, 20 mantras we don't hear. Yes or no? 5 mantras we hear, I should focus on chanting holy name. Then mind will go to India. Mind will go to office. Mind will go to some software that you should learn. Our mind will focus on the quarrel. But what you do? Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. But then, but if you continue like that, but eventually, Sampatti Dasa, Rupa Goswami says, that meditation becomes constant. But Krishna, this Urmila Mataji, she said she was giving a class in Mayapur. When I chant the holy name, immediately, I don't need to struggle. Really, what happens? Krishna's pastimes, they come straight. And she is so exalted. Wow. In our case, we will listening, Hare Krishna, mind will go away, listening, mind will go away, listening. She said, no. Because the moment you see Krishna, Krishna is beautiful. Then, right, the chanting will be a cakewalk. Yes or no? And the moment Krishna comes, what's the problem? Krishna is killing Putana, Krishna is killing Trinavarta, Krishna is killing Agasur, Krishna is playing on the flute. Hare Krishna. You want to continue chanting only because Dhyanam is happening. Until such time, one has to endure. They should stay in the association of devotees, focus whatever you heard. Then what is the last one? Darshana. He searched everywhere. He couldn't find Sita. Not that Hanuman, sometimes he says, Prabhupada did it, pure devotee. We are actually belittling a pure. Not Prabhupada went through difficulties. Prabhupada had diabetes, a 70-year-old man, he had a stick in the hand. Now I know why he has a stick. Earlier I don't know. If you all want, I'll tell the answer in private. Because a certain stage, sometimes you become dizzy. So you become dizzy, you'll fall down. So then you need a stick. Don't ask me why I came to. I can tell that also. So serious. Prabhupada that stick. 70-year-old man, he had 2 heart attacks. One person said, Prabhupada, you can't do this. Prabhupada said, you're depressing me. Prabhupada said that. No, I'm a pure devotee. There is no depression. No. When Hiranyaksha was speaking bad words, Krishna heard that Varahadev is telling, Varahadev felt bad. God is sentient. He has feelings. So Hanumanji searched everywhere. He couldn't find Sita. Then the last thing, this is the one place I didn't see. Then he prayed to everybody. He prayed to his parents, he prayed to his, all the devatas say, please, 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 please. Means he has to try. He cannot go back empty-handed. Namostu Ramaya Lakshmanaya. So he prayed to Ram, he prayed to Lakshman. What is that? I forgot actually. Rudra Nilepyo. He prayed to Lord Shiva, he prayed to Agni, please. Then he entered. Because of this manana, first he heard, then he meditated, he reminded himself, then dhyanam. Dhyana means, what can he imagine? Whatever little bit Ram described. It led to darshan, he saw Sita. So same thing, the sadhaka, if we meditate on, if we hear, then meditate, remind ourselves, this is very good, the process is very good. Then we meditate, how will I serve? How can I serve? One should not be idle. If you're idle, mind will take over. It'll kill you actually. One should not give room to mind. The moment you find free time, mind will definitely, it'll take you to sense enjoyment. I'll take only 1 minute. What is time? 9:11. So should I end it now? Probably I'll end it. So sun god has a driver by name Aruna. So Aruna has no Sunday. Because every day sun has to travel, right? To cut the story short, abrupt short. One day, this guy, his name is Ugratapas, but he had a leprosy. But his wife is very chaste, Narayani. Okay, she asked, her husband is dying with leprosy. You have any desire? He said, I want to enjoy that prostitute. So Narayani served that prostitute. Prostitute, why are you serving everyone? What do you want? My husband wants to enjoy you. Oh, really? All right, bring him. So Narayani put her husband in the basket and she was taking. And one, Valakilya Munis, they were hanging, they were doing tapasya, head down, feet up. This guy's foot went and touched their heads. They were disturbed by their meditation. They looked down. This guy is what they looked by looking at him. They understood everything. Your name is Ugratapas, means intense austerity. You are mad after sense enjoyment. Even with bodies, ravaged with leprosy, still you are like this. We curse you to die tomorrow. You are burdened to your wife. You are burdened to the whole society. By sunrise, you'll die. Narayana is a chaste wife. She heard this. By tomorrow sunrise, you'll die. As soon as sunrise, you'll die. Narayana said, sun will not rise. She immediately said, I don't want my husband to die. What is your problem? I love my husband. She's a chaste. If you're chaste wife, you have that power. She said, then sun will not rise. Here sun god is going, suddenly chariot stopped. Aruna stopped. What happened? No brakes, but chariot automatically stopped. So why? I don't know. It's like indefinite strike. Then don't know what to do. Very unexpected holiday. Then sun god said, all right, do whatever you want to do. This is Aruna, charioteer of sun god. Now you got a free time, don't know what to do. Immediately took his cell phone. What are the activities in heavenly planets? Today, there is a dance in Indra's court. By all the Ramba Uras Manaka. Arey! I never get Sunday holiday, chalo. So he left. But when he when he went to the gate, they said, the only male allowed is Indra. Other all only ladies are allowed. Nobody can see this dance. Finally, I got a little couple of hours of break, and they are telling you cannot see. See, there's a power. The moment he got free time, his mind drifted towards sense enjoyment. When they are on that level, their mind is tempted. We don't need to speak about the humans, right? Then what he did, I don't know, they all mystic powers, immediately disguised himself as a lady. And he entered. And he was watching as a dance is so great, amazing. Suddenly Indra looked at this guy. Who is this lady? I never saw this lady. In heavenly planets, there is no sin, right? Only you lose your lifespan, that's it. So call him. And I want to enjoy. He said, Aruna said, I am not a woman. Said, no problem. So right now you're in the woman state. So and and enjoyed Aruna became pregnant, gave birth to a baby boy. Then here what happened? Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, they said, everything came to a standstill because there is no activity. They told her, no, please, release your car. Whatever it is, you said, whoa, take it out. She said, no, I don't want my husband to die. They said, don't worry. We'll protect your husband. He will die. But if you release sun god, we'll bring him back to life. The universal administrators are giving this. All right, she said, fine. Released. And sun god said immediately, hey, wherever you are, Aruna, come back. Aruna came back. So start the chariot. And he said, he is so sad. What happened? I went to see this thing, they said only ladies are allowed. I disguised myself, I became a lady. So that's why sun god said, really? He became a lady and Indra was attracted? I want to see that form. Sun god said. And show me that form. And he saw that form. Sun god said, I have to enjoy. See the power. And he also gave birth to another child. And now he was crying and he said, I don't know what to do. Now chariot has to move. And then Devata said, look, on earth, there is a monkey. Actually, now he's doing tapasya. You donate these two children, Ruksharaj. One is a Sugriva, another is Vali. These two children, who is that? The one born by Indra, the one, that Aruna gave birth to through Indra is actually Sugriva. Through sun god, it is Vali. See the power of sense enjoyment. You're understanding? Never underestimate the power of sense enjoyment. When somebody joins full time, we will not become Brahmachari pure the next day. Sun god, Indra, what is the power? When we want to enjoy independent of Krishna. We don't even remember the consequences. We don't think of the consequences. But Hanuman is great because he meditated on that. Mananam, so he heard, he reminded himself, he dhyana, he meditated and he saw Sita. Until he saw Sita, when he saw first time he introduced himself to Ram, he said, who are you? Minister of Sugriva. He didn't declare himself as servant. Some person infatuated by his wife. But when he saw Sita, that's why we need the grace of Radharani to attain Krishna. We need the grace of Sita to attain Ram. And he said, I understand why this person is. Otherwise, what is the cause here? Creating war because of woman? But what type of woman? Gods of fortune. And then they arrested him, took him before Ravana, because when he destroyed the entire Lanka and Ashoka not like, I'm sorry. Who are you? Dasam Kausalindresya. I am the servant of Ram. First time use that word after seeing Sita. Because he got the grace of Sita, he understood the divinity of Ram and he said to Ravana, who are you? I am servant of Ram. Up to that point, he never said that. So to approach the Father, we need the grace of Mother. To approach Ram, we need the grace of Mother Sita. To approach Krishna, we need the grace of Radharani. So that's what I can tell. So one has to, you have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as your humble servant. Very grateful for your patient audience. I mean, honestly speaking, I'm good for nothing, but somehow leading the life in the association of devotees. Please forgive me if I've spoken anything wrong. Any question or comment, otherwise we'll end it. Yes.
You said, Prabhu Goswami said, don't go and see Krishna in Keshikat. And when you see your material desires will go away. We see Krishna. Nothing. What is lacking?
I don't think you have seen Krishna in the Keshi Ghat.
No. But Krishna is Krishna everywhere. Same Krishna.
But Prabhu Goswami mentions clearly, Krishna in the Keshi Ghat.
Nothing happened.
Then he has, what is that? He also, actually, Giriraj Maharaj says this. If you see Govinda Dev, he says to Govinda Dev, actually, if you see Govinda Dev, I warn you. Sometimes, Prabhuji, what is that? The effect comes little slowly, but effect comes. Don't underestimate the power of Prabhu Goswami or Giriraj Maharaj. So, what is that? Conditioning. One person asked one time, His Holiness Radhana Swami, Maharaj, giant, so what is it? These four Kumaras, they smelled the aroma of tulsi leaf that was there on the lotus feet of Vishnu. Then immediately they rejected Brahman realization, they started a sampradaya. Here I am drinking gallons and gallons of Charnamrita every day. Nothing is happening. So Radhana Swami said, our conditioning is so intense. So when we understand our conditioning, that should make us humble rather than depressing us. It should make us humble. Another lecture I heard. This is Haridas Thakur Namacharya. Prostitute took 3 days. 1 month is enough actually. But what was her conditioning? She took 3 days to become a pure devotee. It is Namacharya means 1 mantra is enough because Suddhanam is coming from his mouth. Still she did not. We are stubborn. What is our problem? We are stubborn. And we utilize our free will against Krishna. That's why great acharyas, they pray, my Lord, take my free will out. Because I utilize it against you. Remove my free will. So, but in the essence, actually, there's the 5 things. Why Rupa Goswami has given Vaidhi Bhakti? Sadhana Bhakti is 2. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga. There is no raga, no attraction. So then you force yourself. Slowly but steadily, Kali Yuga minds. We are stubborn to surrender to Krishna because we have already surrendered to Maya. What is America? America means you surrender your life to a multinational corporation just because you can save your visa and save your make little money. And you forfeit your life, spiritual life, material life, not knowing the consequences. Hare Krishna. You sell yourself actually, which is even worse. What is material life? That's why the Parinamam Vishameva, it appears nectar, end result is a poison. But this one is poison in the beginning, end result is nectar. The 5 things Rupa Goswami gave. That's why in the third chapter, Mataji will speak tomorrow. If you emphasize on these 3 things, if you focus on these 5 things, in spite of his unwillingness, you made a point. That's why it is said here. Rupa Goswami is telling this 500 years ago, even if you see evil, I will hold on to materialistic life. What can we do? Krishna did not use his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and convince Arjun. He did not convince Arjun using his position. He said, my friend, Karun, please do it. At the end he said, I told you what I'm supposed to tell you. Now you do whatever you want to do. But luckily, Arjun, he said he used his intelligence in service of Krishna. That's why he's glorified. Krishna said, hey, look, what is going to happen? End result is fixed. Now you decide whether you want to be part of it or not. Same thing. Now you to choose. Krishna's grace is there, Lord Chaitanya's grace is there. Srila Prabhupada came, chants, everyone will be liberated clearly. A fool cannot understand. Who cannot understand this verse? Even a 3rd class devotee is liberated. Mother Malti told many times. Second Avenue program is happening. One reporter came and asked, how many pure devotees are there? Prabhupada said, how many people are there in our movement? 75. We have 75 pure devotees. These are all trackmatics and hippies. Prabhupada is telling 75 pure devotees. Means the process is pure. If you stay in the process, you'll be a pure devotee. Actually, how much air Prabhupada is filling through this purport in the tires of our Krishna consciousness. How many of you think you're liberated? Raise your hands.
I don't know.
Probably you're liberated, he's telling.
According to this, probably, but it seems.
The answer is simple. Don't get on the bus. Or don't get out of the boat. Stay on the boat. Stay on the bus. That's it. You will go back to Godhead. You will see Krishna eye to eye one day.
Please.
But only thing is preaching. Think about others. Seriously. Seriously. Any other question or comment, otherwise we'll end it. So, online, anyone wants to add anything, otherwise we'll end it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Prabhuji, very nice class. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Prabhu, one thing. Originally, we are Sachid Anand. So we are a happy, spiritual soul. Sachid Anand is there. But down the line, we are negative, but we have to build the positive. We are inclined to Maya naturally, but we have to build a spiritual practice so that we can fight with the Maya. So does this we change because our conditioning change? Because when we born, when we are child, we are very happy. We are if you see child is very blissful, you know. But down the line, we change ourselves, so conditioning grow, and then we become. So we have to build positive. We have to build our spiritual practice, or so. If you can give highlight, if you can.
Prabhuji, child is in Tamagun, bro. Annamaya stage. Not that child is
Okay.
pure or anything. Child, doesn't know. Saisava avastha,
Mhm.
They know how to play, So, but they're Annamaya stage.
Mhm.
But, sometimes in India they say children means God. No,
Mhm.
definitely not. So children, they are Annamaya stage. They don't know anything. Until you become 20, you know nothing actually. Little
Mhm.
grown up, you want to play. Childhood, you want to play one type of place. Maybe small ball. Once you become 10-year-old, you want to play cricket. 16 years onwards, you are infatuated by lust. So real thing will happen once it's 20, 24, 25. Then you start understanding what the life is all about. So you're true, because we don't know anything. Children are actually relatively happy. I agree with that. But now, ever since, actually one lecture I heard, the baby monkeys, they're very happy. But once the monkey becomes big and lust enters, monkey becomes agitated, looks for, sense enjoyment. Then they become agitated. That is our problem. So, because there is no pure enjoyment in this world. It'll come with, other things, other sufferings. So then we become part of the action and reaction, So the simple thing is, now you have feedback, now you're initiated, now you have the process, whatever is your mental state, accept it and, make purification a goal of your life. Krishna conscious purification, because we cannot, that action and how to burn the bad karma, bhakti, that's it, nothing else, children also eventually you'll see them become, you'll see them growing big, and you'll also become, anxious and agitated, so that's how this world is designed. Okay, so now you are fortunately you have taken up the process, you've accepted the process, continue the bhakti process. That's what I can tell.
Yeah, very, very nice, Prabhu. I think, like you said, nicely, acceptance. That's a very good point. And then just be in the boat, right? So one day we'll reach the destination.
Definitely. Don't give it up, no matter what. Never leave the bead bag, and never leave the process. You will see Krishna eye to eye one day. Actually, one time, one devotee, I'm done, but he asked, again, His Holiness Radhana Swami, Maharaj, when you speak about Haridas Thakur, when you speak about Vasudev Datta, when you speak about Shivananda Sen, it's very painful, because year after year after year, the conditioning is not going away. I'm done. Maharaj said, yes, continue following the process. Without your knowledge, one day you'll be lifted up. You'll become a pure devotee. He said that. Dandavat pranam, Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.